Good morning, children. So today there are few participants only. Maybe today the weather is bad, maybe due to the connectivity issue, or the laziness. I think it is connectivity issue. That's why few start with nucleoside. And I would like to repeat one thing: the difference between the purines and pyrimidines. This is what I would like to repeat: the difference between purines and pyrimidines. So the difference between, am I audible to you all? And the board is also clear? Yes? Bacha, I want your response. Am I audible to you all? And the board is also clear? Okay, fine, fine. Now, here, if you see the purines, I told you purines are adenine and guanine. There are two purines which are adenine and guanine. They are denoted by the letter A and G. The pyrimidines are three in number. They are uracil, cytosine, and the third one is thymine. They are denoted by the letter U, C, and T. This uracil is present in RNA and it replaces T in RNA because T is absent in RNA. And in place of T, the uracil is present in RNA. Now, another point of difference is the adenine, the purines, which are which comprise of adenine and guanine, they are large. That's a now these are large-sized nitrogen containing molecules, and these are small sized, and the same thing that they also contain nitrogen, so they are small size nitrogen containing molecules. Now this was the first point of example. This is the second point. The third point comes to be, the third point is they are dicyclic. When we say double ringed or dicyclic, they are double ringed. These, they are double ringed. Also, we use a word which is dicyclic. They are single ringed. And what do we call them? We call them monocyclic. Monocyclic. Another point of difference is the purines are 9-membered. They are 9-membered. Nine-membered. Nitrogen as a nitrogen containing molecule, and these are small size nitrogen containing molecule. That means both have nitrogen in them. The nitrogen is present in them. And where is that nitrogen linked? So the nitrogen in case of purines is linked at nitrogen is linked at first, third, seventh, and ninth position. Whereas in their case, the nitrogen is linked at first and third position. These are the difference between the purines and the pyrimidines. And here we end with that, the topic of nucleoside and nucleotide. Any point which you could not understand or anything which you want me to repeat, you can tell me. Yes, beta, anything which you want me to repeat or anything which you could not understand? Yes. Fourth point, 9-membered. 9-membered means when you see the structure of this, there are 9 members. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, beta. I'll show you the picture, how this is, why this is known as 9-membered and why this is known as 6-membered. That picture I'm going to share with you. Just a minute. Here. I think if purines, their chemical structure is like this. Here. This is the chemical structure and the position of nitrogen, the position of nitrogen in the form of NH, the position of nitrogen somewhere in the form of NH3, NH2, and somewhere in the form of this. So if you count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, these are 9. So that is why we say that it is 9-membered. And there we are saying that it is 6-membered. So 6-membered means they are monocyclic. Single cycle is present, single ring is present. And because of the single ring, here it is nitrogen which is present. Here again the nitrogen which is present, first and the third position. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-membered. This is the difference. This is what is known as 9-membered and 6-membered. Is it clear to you now? Yes, any doubt in this now? Okay, so I'll move on to the next. I want to ask, okay, I want to ask you something. What is the difference between the deoxyribose sugar and ribose sugar? Anybody who can tell me the difference between both the pentose sugars? First of all, you tell me what are name the pentose sugars. What are pentose sugars, and can you name the pentose sugars? First of all, answer my question. This question, come on. What are pentose sugars, and can you name the 2 pentose sugars? Yes, Amrita, you are right. Pentose sugars are 5-carbon sugars. Okay, can you name? Can you name the pentose sugars? DNA and RNA. Yes, Tadarani. Now, who's going to tell me the difference between both the sugars? What is the difference between DNA and RNA is not sugar, Tadarani. DNA and RNA is not sugar. It is not pentose sugar. It is present in DNA and it is present in RNA, but DNA and RNA is not pentose sugar. Tadarani? This is not pentose sugar. I'm asking you the names of pentose sugars. Yes. The names of pentose sugars. Yes. Who's going to tell me? The names of pentose sugars. RNA C5H10O5. Yes, this is the chemical formula. But can you name the sugar, Amrita? Can you name the sugar? Yes. Can you name the sugar? I'm not asking you the formula. I'm asking you the name. Nucleoside. Tadar Ani, what is nucleoside? What is nucleoside? Nucleoside is not sugar. See, this is what happens when you don't.
Deoxyribose.
Who's this? Amrita, yes, speak again. Yes, better speak again.
Deoxyribose.
Yes, deoxyribose sugar, and where it is present? Which
DNA.
nucleic acid? Yes, deoxyribose sugar present in DNA. And what is the other pentose sugar? Ribose and deoxyribose. Yes, Rohan?
RNA.
Yes, ribose, Rohan, you are also right. Amrita, yes, very good. DNA and RNA. Deoxyribose sugar present in DNA and ribose sugar present in RNA. But I have told you many times to go through whatever is taught in the class. If you will not go through it, this is the way you will confuse. You will not be able to differentiate between pentose sugar, between DNA and deoxyribose, between RNA and ribose sugar, and nucleotides and nucleotides. You will not be able to differentiate if you will not go through what is being taught in the class. This is such an interesting topic going on. You should go through it in the evening once. If you go through it once, you will be able to understand. Otherwise, it will make a khichdi type of thing in your brain, and you will not understand. So this is my request to you all: go through whatever is taught in the class. Okay, see, a teacher is requesting you to go through whatever is taught in the class. See, uh, this, why did I asked you this? Because this you should know in the next topic which I'm going to teach you. You should know all these things. This is required for the next topic. Now, some students said that it is nucleoside. See, pentose sugars are of two types. Either it is pentose sugars means 5-carbon sugars in which 5 carbons are present. 5-carbon sugars are pentose sugars in which 5 carbons are present. We call it pentose sugar. This is of two types: deoxyribose. This is a type of sugar, or it can be ribose. This is another type of sugar. So both are sugars and both are present. This is present in DNA. Deoxyribose sugar is present in DNA and ribose sugar is present in RNA. DNA is made. It is not that DNA is made up of only this deoxyribose sugar, or RNA is made up of only this ribose sugar. Besides this, few more things are present in them. That this I'm going to tell you. See, I'm repeating it because you have confused between nucleoside, sugars, everything you have got confused. That's why I'm repeating. I'm summarizing it again. So here, just now, some students said that nucleoside. So what is nucleoside and nucleotide? Yesterday I told you what is the difference between deoxyribose sugar and ribose sugar? Yes, who's going to tell me? The difference between deoxyribose sugar and ribose sugar. Their structures, yes, Amrita. What is that difference? Fine, their structure is different. That is why they
Number
have
of
got
oxygen
different
present in them.
presence. Of speak again. Formula, yes, formula is different, but why it is different? See, the difference
Ma'am,
between,
can I tell?
yes, beta Rohan.
It's in the
This
number
is
of
Rohan
oxygen
Ma'am,
side.
present.
in ribose, hydroxyl group is present, and in deoxyribose, hydrogen is present.
Yes, and at which position? Which position is that? Which position, beta? Second carbon, second carbon. This is the difference. I'm erasing it again so that I can tell you the difference between deoxyribose sugar and ribose sugar is this deoxyribose sugar at the second position. It was like this. It is a pentose sugar. So 5 carbons are present, 3, 4, and 1 carbon is present here in the form of CH2OH. Same as this this is also a pentose sugar to addition of carbon. This is first, this is second. This is first, this is second. The difference lies between the deoxyribose sugar and ribose sugar at the second position. And that difference is here only H, hydrogen and hydrogen is present, no functional group. But here in case of ribose sugar, H and this OH is present, this functional group is present, which is absent here. And because of the presence of this functional group, the ribose sugar is very reactive. This makes it reactive because of the presence of the functional group hydroxyl, whereas this is stable. Whereas presence of hydrogen group makes it stable. This is very reactive. That is why we say that out of the two, DNA originated first or RNA originated first. See, DNA came first. The origin, when we talk of origin, RNA came first. Why RNA came first? Because it was reactive, it was unstable, and it was formed first, and because it was reactive and unstable, later on it became stable and got converted into a stable form, which is deoxyribose or DNA. Now this is the difference between deoxyribose sugar and ribose sugar. Better keep this in mind. These are basic things. If you do not understand this and if you do not go through it, see, everything will become a khichdi and you will not be able to understand. This is the difference between deoxyribose sugar, which is present in DNA, and ribose sugar, which is present in RNA. These sugars are present in this. Ma'am, I can't see. Who's that? Wrote? Who cannot see, beta? Can you please retext the message? Can you please retext the message? Who's the one who said this? Rohan, it's blurred. To everybody, is it blurred, the board? Is it blurred to everybody, beta? Yes, Tadarani. Deepika. Okay, okay. I'll see to it because to me this is very clear. I'll see to it. Wait a minute. Yes, beta, tell me now, is it clear? So deoxyribose sugar is present in DNA, ribose sugar is present in RNA, and it has a functional OH group here at the second carbon, which is absent in deoxyribose sugar. Deoxyribose sugar has hydrogen and hydrogen, whereas it has ribose sugar has a functional group, hydroxyl group, and presence of this makes it reactive and unstable. So this is what we say, that this evolved first and it was reactive, it was unstable. So later on it became stable and got converted into DNA. So besides, it is not that DNA is made up of only sugar or RNA is made up of only sugar. Besides sugar, many more things are present in it. And for that, I'll start with nucleoside and nucleotide. Now, beta, this is very important that you understand the difference between the two, nucleoside and nucleotide. Now, what is the difference? See, a nucleoside is when we have pentose sugar plus nitrogenous bases. Nitrogenous bases. What are nitrogenous bases? Those which I told you: A, adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, uracil. These are nitrogenous bases. When pentose sugar is linked only with nitrogenous bases, it is a nucleoside. And when pentose sugar is linked with I'm writing only N bases, nitrogenous bases like A, G, C, T, and U, plus one more thing is linked with it, that is phosphate. When these three are linked together, we call it nucleotide. We call it nucleotide. Fine. And in case of DNA and RNA, these are present. And how these are present? This I'm going to tell you. So nucleoside means one pentose sugar. This is pentose sugar. And always the first carbon is attached to the nitrogenous base. Always the first carbon is attached to the nitrogenous base. So here, any nitrogenous base can be attached. It can be A, it can be G, it can be C, it can be T, it can be U, any. Okay, so here nitrogenous base is attached, and here to the sugar here on this side, to the fifth carbon, and the fifth carbon is here CH2OH. This is the fifth carbon. To this fifth carbon is attached the phosphate. To the fifth carbon is attached the phosphate. And because of the presence of nitrogenous base, this is nitrogenous base, pentose, this is pentose sugar, and the phosphate, this is phosphate, inorganic phosphate. This becomes a nucleotide. This becomes a nucleotide. If only two things are present, that means this is a pentose sugar, and to the first carbon, nitrogenous base is attached, any of the nitrogenous base, only this is present, then what do we have? Here nitrogenous base and be anyone, A, G, C, T, U, any can be attached. So this is the nitrogenous base, this is the pentose sugar, so this becomes a nucleoside. Only two things are there, this becomes a nucleoside. So see this, could you understand the difference between the nucleotide and nucleoside now? Any query in this? If you could not understand, just let me know the difference between the nucleoside and nucleotide. Yes, beta? Anything clear to Amrita, to others also? Yashika, Rohan, Tadar, Sanvi, Siksha? Yes. Yes, Tadar, is it clear? Tadar, now don't confuse between nucleoside and nucleotide and deoxyribose sugar and nitrogenous bases. You have to be very clear that this is a nucleotide, this is a nucleotide, a nucleoside, this is pentose sugar, these are nitrogenous bases, everything you have to be. And the two types of nitrogenous bases are purines and pyrimidines. Purines are adenine and guanine, pyrimidines are cytosine, thymine, and uracil. So this, you have to be very clear in this. Now children, you don't have any question in this? No query, whatever I taught you today, this was a repetition of yesterday. So now I'll just start with it because we have hardly few minutes left. So I'll just give you an introduction. So there was a scientist, a very reputed scientist, and he was awarded the Nobel Prize also. It was a group of two scientists rather, Watson and Crick. Have you heard of this name? Have you heard of this name, Watson and Crick? Yes, beta? What they did, anybody who can tell me? Anybody who can tell me what they did? Watson and Crick? They were awarded Nobel Prize. They were awarded Nobel Prize. And what was their contribution in the field of science? Anybody who can share with me? Yes, bache? Yes, bache? Anybody who can share with me? Yes, no. You have done this in class 10th, I remember. Yes, Watson and Crick, they were awarded Nobel Prize Why? Because they gave the structure of DNA. They gave the structure of DNA, and this structure of DNA was a double helical structure. Okay, so they gave the structure of DNA, and this structure of DNA was a double helical structure. Actually, the structure of DNA was like this. The structure which they gave was somewhat like this, double helical structure of DNA. Now, just a minute, it is a little wrong from here. It has to go like this. Somewhat like this. So this double helical structure was DNA was given by Watson and Crick. Now, see, if you see, there are two strands. One strand is this and another strand is this. Both are helically coiled around each other. They are coiled around each other, and you know both the strands, they are anti-parallel. If the first strand is 3 prime, no, see, this is the DNA strand. It has two sides. One can be 5 prime. If first is 5 prime, another is going to 3 prime, and if this is 3 prime, the last one is 5 prime. So if the first here the position is 5 prime, the second is going to be 3 prime. So 5 prime, and it will end in 3 prime, and 3 prime will end in 5 prime. So this structure, you know, what is this 5 prime and 3 prime? This is the position of pentose sugar where the phosphorus is attached. Where the phosphorus is attached, it tells that phosphorus is attached in the pentose sugar. If this is pentose sugar, the phosphorus in this pentose sugar, here the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, and this is the fifth carbon, CH2H, this is the fifth carbon. So phosphorus is attached in this pentose sugar at two positions. One is phosphorus attached here, another phosphorus is attached here. So this is the way phosphorus is attached. Then again, it will be linked to the fifth carbon, and then again to the third carbon. So attachment of phosphorus is at two places. Either it is attached at fifth, means the same phosphorus is attached at the fifth prime and the third prime. Fifth prime, third prime. Now, when it starts here, if you see the starting of phosphorus is attachment at the fifth prime, another strand, it can be attached to the third prime. Okay, so this is because of the attachment of phosphorus. Now these two strands of DNA, it's not that they are separate. See, this strand and this strand, it's not, they do not have any connectivity. Both the strands have connectivity, and that connectivity is because of the nitrogenous bases in them. This is one nitrogenous base. This always pairs with T with a double bond. So this way, many bases are there, many bases, and those bases, they connect both or they keep both the strands of DNA in position. Now, there, as I told you that in DNA, here we are talking of DNA. In DNA, the nitrogenous bases which are present are A, C, T, G. These are the four nitrogenous bases which are present in DNA. And out of these four nitrogenous bases, A always pairs with T with a double bond. Same vice versa, T always pairs with A with a double bond. If there is G, it will always pair with C with a triple bond. If there is C, it will always pair with G with a triple bond. This is the attachment. This is the pairing of the nitrogenous base. So here I have shown that T was here on one strand, it paired with A of the another strand. and by a double bond. Suppose here we have C, it will pair with a triple bond with G. Suppose we have here G, it will pair with a triple bond with C. Suppose here we have A, it will pair with a double bond with T. So this is how both the strands of DNA are kept in position, and uh, they are held together in a DNA molecule. So this is the simplest structure of DNA, which was given by the two scientists, Watson and Crick. One more thing which I want to bring to your consideration is that see the center of this DNA molecule, the center, the core has the core of the DNA molecule has the nitrogenous bases. See, in the center, what do we have? Nitrogenous bases. But what do we have on the chain, on the side, here, on the side? On the sides, we have two things. This side. On the sides, we have two things, pentose sugar and phosphate. They form the peripheral side of the strands, and in the central core of DNA molecule is formed only by nitrogenous bases. Okay, so children, this is what I want to tell you in today's lecture. Tomorrow we are going to start with the DNA molecule. Here I think